Hi folks, and welcome to today's video, advanced leg training with a lumbar herniated disc. Now, I do create a lot of great content for those folks suffering out there with herniated discs, bulging disc, sciatica nerve pain. If that is you, then subscribe to this channel, okay? You'll be notified when I upload something new, which is going to help you on the road to recovery. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. All right, folks, today I want to show you 4 more advanced lower body leg exercises if you are out there suffering from lumbar herniated discs and you're on that road to recovery again. Now, if you're at the beginner stages, I would recommend you check out my lower body beginner exercises. That video is going to flash up at the end of this one, or you can go and check it out in the link down below in the description. If you're in the beginner stages, go and check that out first, okay? This video is for folks who are on the mend, you're starting to get back, maybe want to get back into the gym. This is going to be 4 nice, safe exercises you can do if you're coming back from that lumbar herniated disc. Now, you don't want to throw yourself too quickly back into things like squats, deadlifts. The disc does take several months to heal, to scar over, to repair itself, sometimes up to a year in some cases. But you want to load your legs, so what can you do? How do you increase the stress? How do you get your glutes stronger, hamstring stronger, and quad stronger? Okay, I'm going to show you 4 very simple exercises for those folks that are needing that information right now. So, first exercise, we're going to be doing a split squat, but it's going to be weighted on one side only. So, what you would do, take a dumbbell. I'm using this as a 4 kilo dumbbell here. And I'll show the split squat from the front and the side. I'm going to be working predominantly my left leg. My left leg goes forward. My hips are about, my feet are about hip width apart, a little bit wider. Okay, I'll show you from the front here. That's the frontal angle. And here's from the side. I'm up on that back foot. Now, I'm going to hold this dumbbell in the opposite side of my working leg. You essentially bend both knees. Back knee almost touches the ground. And then you come back up. And you're going to 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, up. 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, up. Posture nice and tall, not leaning far too forward, not leaning too far back. Now the reason you get to put one dumbbell in one side is it's going to work the opposite side of your spine. Basically, essentially, it's helping to stabilize that side and prevent you from doing this. So it's kind of a double whammy. I'm actually working a little bit on your lower back musculature here, okay? And we're also working on the legs, so we've added weight, of course, to the exercise. The heavier this dumbbell will get, the more, of course, you're going to be resisting the side flexion movement. So I would start with 2 to 4 kilos. Work on 10 to 15 clean reps each leg, okay? Use your weaker leg, your non-dominant leg first in front, okay? Do your set and then switch to your stronger, more dominant side first. So, 10 to 15 repetitions, take about a 60-second break. Then you're going to move on to a 2-legged bent knee hip extension. So I'll be down on the floor for this exercise. So you've taken your break, and we're going to come down onto the floor. Now, I'll show you 2 variations, one with a bench here, okay, and I'm using one with a ball, which is behind me. So get quite close into the bench, put your feet up on top, and I like to put just the middle of my foot, so not my toes, not my heel, mid part of my foot on the bench. I've got about a 90-degree bend at the knees there. Palms face the ceiling, back of the hand on the floor. I'm going to push down on this bench, push my toes down towards the bench, squeeze my glutes, lift my hips up as high as they can go, squeeze and hold, come back down controlled, just glance my lower back on the floor and squeeze and lift again. Hold for a second at the top, come down slowly, carefully, glance the floor, just touch it lightly, squeeze, back up, hold. Again, that would be 10 to 15 times. You find that a little bit too easy for you? Okay, we'll switch to a ball here. Gives it it's a bit of instability in the lower side. So we'll just bring in the ball. Exactly the same movement and position. You'll be here, 2 legs on top of the ball. I'm going to be pushing down on my toes on top of the ball. palms are up, squeeze my glutes, I lift, squeeze and hold, resist, come down, lightly touch the floor, there's some tension still left in my glutes, squeeze, lift up again, stabilize, and come down. Again, 10 to 15 repetitions. Take a second, then take a few breaths. Probably take about 45, 60 seconds, even 90 seconds if you need to, between finishing this exercise and going to the next one. It's going to be a step up, all right? Now, I've got a little step behind me here. This is roughly, it's about a 10-inch step or so here, okay? Now, very common mistake with step-ups is people will push off of the back leg, when in fact, it's the leg on the step that should be doing the work, right? So I'm going to show you this, the how not to do it way, and the how to do it correctly way, okay? I want to make sure I stay in shot here. So again, if I'm using my non-dominant leg as the pushing leg, my left leg, commonly you'll often see in many, many gyms, people bend the back knee and they push off that back leg. And it ends up being a spring up exercise. They're not actually using much of the front leg at all. So what I want you to consciously do, get the back leg close to the step, okay? And again, start with a low step. Start with something around about, this is roughly 10, 12 inches, maybe about 30 centimeters or so. Start with something low. Consciously have yourself nice and tall. Have the weight shift over that front leg and then push all with the leg on this step. Just push, come up, okay? Use a water support if you need to. And then control the descent back. So consciously lock my back knee. So I'm not going to push with that back leg. Let my hips shift forward onto the front leg. Push all with the front leg and then control my return. The reason you want to control is if I'm pushing up, great, and then I just drop, okay? That's a lot of stress going through this landing leg, which can transfer up into the spine. We're trying to still maintain good posture, good control of the hips and the pelvis. We don't put undue stress onto the sacrum lower back region because that will affect the discs, okay? We're trying to focus on the glutes and the quads, a little bit of hamstrings working here, some here. I would say no weight to begin with. Okay, you can progress to holding dumbbells. We'll just do body weight for the time being. So I'm here, I push, hold, stabilize at the top, control my descent. So put the tension all on that lead leg as I come down. Reset and go again. Push, control the descent, stabilize, push. So my pelvis is nice and stable. I'm not rocking side to side. I'm not banging that rear foot on the ground. Do your 10 to 15 repetitions, then switch legs, okay? When you finish with that leg, take again 45, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, as much rest as you need. Bring your heart rate down a little bit, catch your breath if you need to. You feel strong enough to do the next exercise, okay? Next exercise, it can be called many, many things. It can be called the golfer's lift. I often call it the one-legged Romanian deadlift, okay? A little bit more advanced. I would do recommend that you do this in actual stocking feet, okay? So slip your shoes off. And this is working on ankle stability, knee stability, hip stability, hamstring, glute, and also the lower back. I'm going to show you from the side and from the front. So we're going to work the left leg first. Left leg I'm going to show you in one movement. Make sure nothing behind me here. And then I'm going to talk you through, break it down. So I'm here. You might hear some clicking. That's my hip. Okay, that's just a couple of repetitions. So what we want to do here is stand up nice and tall. Again, I've got a wall here for stability if I need it, okay? And if it's the first time you've done this exercise, it's good to have some stability, wall, bars, chair beside you, all right? So, go in my left leg. I get my chest up. I imagine I'm pivoting on my left leg like a seesaw, okay? So as my right leg goes back, my upper body goes down. It's like the whole thing is one rigid sort of plank of wood moving atop my left hip. So I'll use this for support as I'm talking to the camera. My right hand's on a bit of support, the wall here. As my chest goes forward, you see my right leg goes back. I come down, just about parallel with the floor, okay? Just feel a stretch in the back of your hamstring. Pause for a second, and then I want to come up nice and tall. So I'm not excessively arched. You don't want to be rounding over, okay? Nice neutral spine. Okay, I've taken my support off. You can use your arms for balance here. I go down with control, squeeze, hold, up nice and tall, stabilize. To begin with, you might need to use the support on the wall or put your foot down between reps. You want to aim for doing your 10 to 15 repetitions without touching the wall and without touching the non-working leg on the floor. And come up. And as you get better, you can work holding a weight in the opposite hand. But to begin with, I'll show you from the front. You want to work on learning to stabilize with this working leg, using a bit of support if you need to. Once you can complete 10 to 15 repetitions without support, okay, switch legs, of course, both sides, then perhaps look at holding a small weight in this opposite working leg hand. What you need to be careful of though, I'll show you from this side, pull the shoulder back if there is a weight in this hand. Don't let it pull you forward because that will start to round the upper spine, which can lead to the lower spine being rounded. Again, if you get a healthy spine, not much of an issue. Dealing with herniated discs, it can be a major issue. So you consciously keep the shoulder blade back. As I go forward, I keep that shoulder back. See if there's a weight in my hand, I'm not getting dragged forward by that weight. And you come back up, just in the front, briefly. I'm here. Don't let yourself rotate off to the side. Keep myself nice and stable, straight. I'll just wall behind me here. I'm down, pause, hold, squeeze, come up. Common mistake you might see is people come off to the side, like this, okay? Consciously use a mirror if you have to. Consciously keep yourself nice and square as I go down, nice and neutral, and squeeze, bring yourself back up, all right? Again, 10 to 15 repetitions each side. Then I would take about a minute, 75 seconds, 90 seconds rest, and I'd repeat those 4 exercises again, okay? So the first time out that you do this, I would do 2 sets. So you run through 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise, okay? Take your break, go around again 2 times, give it a break, take a day off, couple of days off. When you come back to do it again, try 3 sets, okay? So it's 3 sets, 10 to 15 repetitions, each exercise, take a break between each one. Those are some more advanced exercises for the lower body if you are coming back from herniated bulging discs, all right? Guys, listen, let me know how you get on, okay? Hit me up in the comment section. If you are out there struggling with herniated bulging discs, having trouble getting your programs right, don't know where to turn, etc., hit me up in my email down below. Send me some questions. I will gladly try to help you guys out as best I can. All right? So folks, listen, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Have a great day.